At the risk of oversimplifying a nuanced issue, I believe that when most people today speak of the difference between spiritual and religious, as in the growing number of people who would claim to be spiritual but not religious, in most instances they're referring to the location of authority. By that I mean that when we think of something as being religious, the authority comes from without, as in the teachings of the Church or the Nicene Creed are presented to us as truth. For us, they come from without, for us to accept or not. Whereas when we think of something as being spiritual, more often than not, we're talking about a personal experience and an experience of the holy. And we don't need any external validation for it to be so. December 21st marks the feast day of St. Thomas the Apostle. Thomas has been given the too simplistic nickname of Doubting Thomas. I've nothing against doubt. In fact, what sort of life of faith would it be if you never asked questions or doubted? But I think Thomas should really be known as the patron saint of personal spiritual inquiry. He's best known for two exchanges in the Bible, both from the Gospel of John. And in the first, Jesus is telling the disciples that he is going ahead of them to prepare a place for them. "In my Father's house are many dwelling places," says he, "and you know the way that I am going." To which Thomas says, "Lord, we do not know where you are going. How can we possibly know the way?" And Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." And then much later, when Jesus appears to the disciples after his resurrection, and they see him, Thomas was not among them. And when the disciples report their experience to Thomas and say, "We've seen the risen Christ," Thomas says, "Unless I see him and I put my hands in his hand and touch his side, I will not believe." And Jesus appears a second time, and Thomas is there. Now, in each of these instances, Thomas wants to experience and apprehend the truth for himself. It is not enough for Thomas to receive it from others. Following Thomas, let's take seriously the questions that we have about God, or about our faith, or about what it means to give our lives over to Christ. I believe in many instances the questions themselves are the ways that God has planted seeds in our hearts and has invited us to follow and seek God. Not knowing, wondering, and asking. These are essential elements. Bring your questions to God in prayer. Keep asking. Keep seeking. If you think you're spiritual but not religious, then Thomas is your guy. Blessed are you.